And the karting action this week comes from the clay Pigeon circuit, Somerset, England. A fast, hard track supplying some of the best action each year in the Super 1 series. And we kick off our report this week with Formula A, preparing for their fourth encounter of the season.
Does it surprise you you've got the edge on Robert?
A little bit, yeah, because all year we've been lacking a bit of engine power, and this weekend we've played about with it and we've got the power back, and it's looking good, yeah.
There's so many drivers that are capable of popping up in good results, and we knew Dan would have one or two good rounds, and this is certainly one of them.
So you've got Daniel in front, you've got Simon Short breathing down your neck. Could be an interesting day for you.
Oh, it'll be a great race, I hope.
This is how they line up. Jenkinson pole second behind Barrett, but more importantly ahead of Dean Panrucker, who leads him in the championship, making up for the disappointments of round 3. So here they go into the warm-up lap, a full grid of 24. The rolling start, as always, preceded by at least one lap, sometimes as many as 4 or 5, if the clerk of the course considers they aren't all in their correct places. And that, I can assure you, is a common occurrence. The weather conditions absolutely perfect. Warm hazy sun, a gentle southwest wind, temperature around 72 Fahrenheit. And the track, lots of overtaking opportunities with a sharp right-hander at the end of the start straight and the double hairpin being the favourites. End of the warm-up lap coming up, 50 metres to go, looking in good shape, and they're away first time with Short slipping inside Jenkinson. Melville passes Charles with the golden boy of the day, Daniel Barrett, holding position magnificently. There he is. Looks over his shoulder. It's a foreboding sight though behind. Short, Hollings, Jenkinson and Panrucker lining up for the challenge. Interesting that Hollings, having started grid 5th, dropped back a couple of places early, now back in 3rd. Jenkinson 4th, Panrucker tight up in 5th. Nothing there between the top 10 and 81, and Lee Renison in trouble there. End of lap 1, 14 to go. Barrett 73 leads from Short, Hollings, Jennings, Panrucker, Wright, Melville, Charles and Griffin. In the first lap time, 34.14 seconds, just 0.26 of a second slower than the fastest of the day, so it's a cracking start. So competitive these days in the top 10. And it's been a day of mixed fortunes for the favourites. Panrucker 4th and 5th in qualifying, could only manage grid 7th in the first final. Melville 20th in his first heat, recovered to 5th in the second, but that's only good enough for 8th here. Down the long straight on lap 3, and still Daniel Barrett paying scant regard to the experience behind, but he might soon as Jenkinson carves a path on the inside of Short, taking Panrucker with him. So Simon Short goes from 2nd to 4th in one hit, and battle commences. Barrett pulling away a bit, he needs to. Lee Renison rejoins after his spot of bother. End of lap, and the times get quicker and quicker, 39.96. That was on lap 2, it's just 0.08 of a second slower than the day's hot lap. And lap 3, 33.71, it's quarter of a second quicker again. A remarkable start. Oh, and a chance here to look again at Simon Short going from 2nd to 4th in the blink of an eyelid. Just a little unlucky here. Nudged by Jenkinson there, leaving enough room for Panrucker to join in the fun. End of lap, Daniel Barrett with a little nod of approval, or maybe a nod of encouragement down the hill for the 4th time. Looking totally in control, beautifully balanced, driving a mean line, leaving nothing for the pursuing pack yet. They're closing in, Jenkinson with Panrucker breathing right down his neck, forced to pick up the pace a little bit. In fact, he's the fastest man on the track. 33.72 is 1/100th of a second outside the fast lap. Charles Hollings holds on to 4th, Melville's up to 5th, and Daniel Barrett head down, Robert Jenkinson head down, Dean Panrucker foot down, numbers 73, 0 and 2 beginning to get away, and it is no surprise the last lap time, 33.50, is the day's fastest, and once again Jenkinson is the recipient, closing in on Daniel Barrett. And here is Barrett demonstrating great skills, making something of a mockery of his 10th position overall in the championship. It's a great start for him. Can he hang on? And yes, so far, 6 laps gone, 9 to go. Another fast lap, 33.45, 500ths quicker. And you begin to feel the pressure building at the halfway. It's no place for the faint-hearted with Jenkinson and Panrucker on your rear bumper. Oh, and there's Simon Short from that lofty second on lap 2, scrapping it out now in around 9th position. Main damage occurring on lap 4 when he dropped 4 places. Into lap 8 and still the Ilford lad refuses to budge. 34.41, quicker again. And if he can hold on to the lead, he'll jump from 10th in the table to probably challenge James Wright for 4th. Points and heats also count for 1st and 2nd. That will help. Oh, but this won't. A moment of opportunism from Jenkinson. He takes the lead, bang on the halfway distance, and Barrett has to fight back with Panrucker desperate not to let Jenkinson get away. Barrett is now the filling in a pretty meaty sandwich. He certainly had a look at Jenkinson there, so he's certainly not going to give up. Nothing else has changed though. Number 73 still separates the championship leaders. Oh, but not for long. Daniel Barrett leaving the door ajar allows Dean Panrucker just half a chance, and that was enough. So the race order is Jenkinson, Panrucker, Barrett, Griffin up from 9, Wright, Hollings, Short, Brennan and Hawkey. Lap times 33.42, 33.36 and 33.27. They're still getting quicker. So no chance of a breather either off or on the track. And Barrett, far from being dispirited and convinced, still believes he can win. And that would be a fairy story. Jenkinson, ominous form over the last 2 laps. Just giving himself a comfortable cushion without risking too much. The call head is called for and delivered. And another look at Panrucker's successful assault on Barrett. And I think Daniel Barrett will agree he left a pretty tasty target there for the number 2. And that's put him back into 3rd with 4 laps to go, so what has he got left to offer? At the end of a pretty sensational day for him. Jenkinson's prizes the lead in the championship with 2 rounds remaining, so plenty at stake here on the rolling Dorset countryside. And pride at stake there, a couple of points between 4th and 5th. Matthew Griffin, 28th in the championship, plays James Wright, 6th. And 3 laps left. Robert Jenkinson tucks in behind his NASA panel. A minute and a half between him and an 8-point lead in the championship, and it could be more if Barrett can find a route past Panrucker. And don't write that off. Here they come, and there's no question Barrett is fancying his chances. Panrucker forced to defend 2nd when he might have expected to be attacking 1st. It's taking all the pressure off the leader. And let's look at that again. Panrucker checking on Barrett's precise whereabouts, realises he's repositioning left for a pop at the inside, so Panrucker drifts across to cover. Nice skills all round. And they're still at it, 2 laps remain, and this really is grist to the mill for Jenkinson. Barrett there whips across the back of Panrucker once again. Panrucker totally wised up to such matters, deals with the attack coolly and successfully. Jenkinson there still pulling away. And a slight variation here from Barrett under the guise of surprise. The intention is to use the toe from Panrucker's kart and whip to the left, creating sufficient momentum to aim at that juicy gap. Once again though, Panrucker anticipating superbly. Last lap and it's all getting a little edgy. Inside, outside, anywhere will do now for Daniel Barrett, and surely he'll get enough momentum, but once again Panrucker holds on, and Jenkinson takes line honours in the 4th round of the RAC MSA Airfall UK Hillhouse Hammond Super 1 2nd A final, and the championship is wide open. And I wonder how important the few points defended on the very last corner by Panrucker will be. when they're all totted up at the end of the season. Very important, I would think. It's all getting close. So this is how they are. Jenkinson leaps over Short and Panrucker. Bad day for Short, finishing up in 6th, but it could have been worse. Good day for Barrett. He leaps up 5 places to 5th.
Well, Robert, before that race you said it was a pretty good day. Now I suppose you would say it was a very good day.
Yeah, very happy. We've been pretty quick all weekend. Started it off well with qualifying on pole for time practice, and then we've gone on from there, and yeah, happy with the win.
It's a beautiful day, warm sunshine, plenty of rubber already laid on the track, and a young man of whom much is expected in these parts. He holds pole position.
It's been a good day on our home circuit. The heats have gone really well, got some good results in, scored some good points. The Spirit chassis has been excellent all weekend. On the clock today, I think there's only myself and Gary from the heats look the same sort of pace. The final will see. You never know who saved the last for the final.
It's been an okay day. The heats have gone all right. I'm on grid 4. You know, hopefully the final will go all right. Just pick up some points, keep it up there for the championship.
And as rounds go, they don't come any more crucial. Halfway point in the series, 47 points separating the top 6, and with everyone in that top 6 expected to pick up in excess of 100 points. And already out on their warm-up lap, it's a full grid of 24 who qualify. And the main talking point of that grid, unquestionably, Richard Styrin, number 41, winner at the Three Sisters last time out, but only grid 13 here. The top 6 grid is Coles 92, Godwin 22, Piercy 70, Cat number 3, Baines 73, and Tigwell number 30. And just to remind ourselves, the track here dominated by the hairpin after the start and that long straight that precedes the tight right-hander on the bottom left of your picture. It is a tough challenge. And the far looping right-hander here will take them back to the start line. Here they come. And it's go! Down the hill towards the first turn. The main aim is to keep out of trouble. And miraculously, all 24 appear to have achieved that. But Gary Catt has moved up to 3rd. Coles 92 in front, Godwin in the slipstream, Catt ready to pounce. Damien Tigwell, number 30 in there. He's ahead of Scott Baines. Good start from Tigwell off grid 6, picking up a couple of places already. Coles, who comes from Taunton, trains here, making good use of the track knowledge. Constant defending is going to be the order of the day as the pack swarm in behind him. And Catt taking a look at Wesley Godwin, but Godwin had that one sorted out long before Gary Catt tied up the gap. Baines has moved up into 4th. Won his first heat here today, 12th in the 2nd, 6th in the 3rd. That gave him grid 5th. Coles had a 3rd and a 6th and a 1st, and that was good enough for the pole. This is Catt reminding Wesley Godwin that if he leaves gaps like that, he'll receive the appropriate punishment sooner or later. Fairness to Godwin, he did well. End of lap 2, 35.52 seconds. Catt moves up, looks again, but it's Godwin who strikes and loses it. Coles, a moment of hesitation, and Catt has taken the lead. Gary Catt from grid 4 on lap 3 leads TKM in the A final of the Super 1 4th round. Gary Catt, one of the great opportunists on the karting circuit, a real battler, and those skills being acknowledged and rewarded with a Formula 4 drive next year. No one deserves it more. Coming in now at the end of lap 3, 35.48 seconds, and in spite of acquiring a new lap leader, that's 0.04 of a second quicker than lap 2. And now Catt will be looking to pull away. He really does have all the credentials. And this is how he got into the lead, and I suspect he will look back at this one as one of the lucky breaks in the season. Every potential champion needs one or two. That really was a lucky one. question is now, has he got the tools to finish the job? End of lap, 35.39 this time. Another fast lap. And this time the improvement is 900ths of a second. And evidence, Cat is attempting to build a cushion. Nice little battle going on there, we spotted. The 5th position, number 70 Lee Piercy, number 30 Damien Tigwell. Piercy 4th in the championship overnight. Here they are, Tigwell 22nd. And being joined there by Harry Soden, number 5, and Martin Bond, 91. Top 4 though, still edging away. End of lap, down the hill for the 6th occasion. 9 to go in this 15 lap 100 TKMA final. And Cat from Andover under relentless pressure from both Adrian Coles, 92, and Wesley Godwin, 22, so he's not getting away. Both still smarting for sure, having gifted Cat that lead on lap 2, and now facing the onerous task of having to get past. And get past the most difficult driver on the track. He really does defend his territory with total commitment, not to mention considerable skill. It is a difficult job indeed for those who follow in his wake. Incidentally, there's quite a drive going on by Green, scrapping for 7th, we saw him just then, and that's up from 16th on the grid. Look at the gap between them and the pack. The lead's getting bigger and bigger. And Lee Piercy has repaid the compliment on Damien Tigwell, with Harry Soden nipping in the rear wheels of number 30. Scott Baines, in the end of 9. Pat edging out by 4 or 5 metres. 35.17 seconds is Cat's time. And that's 0.22 of a second now, quicker than his previous fastest. That was on lap 5. Oh, he certainly means business on the day. With Coles and Godwin involved in their own personal battle now behind, that will slow them down. And it's looking like a very good day indeed for Gary Cat. Lee Piercy also making himself a little space. And space always at a premium. End of lap 10, 35.20 seconds is 300ths of a second slower for Cat this time. And that won't worry him. As long as Coles is defending second place from Godwin, the gap is likely to get bigger rather than smaller, whatever the time. So just 5 laps left now for Gary Cat. He'll know if he can keep himself out of trouble with the back markers, and that could be the problem. The victory is his. He would say, of course, if only it were that simple. The advantage now a clear 10 metres as he comes head down to the end of lap 11. Incidentally, for you Richard Styron fans, the news is not good. That grid 13 start proving a little too much. He's in 10th now, but that really isn't quite good enough. And the level of tactics and reaction in karting not always appreciated by those outside the sport. Eyes in the back of your head are essential. Maybe that's why Michael Schumacher reputedly still karts regularly. Leaders go through. Scott Baines just closing it up just a little bit. 3 laps to go. And Godwin giving Coles no rest at all. And Godwin gives little respect either. That's a priceless strike with under 2 minutes left. Almost as if he planned it that way. Simplicity and timing absolutely perfect. Oh my word! And that's a crunching blow back in the pack. 81 David Parker, kart inverted, bouncing off his helmet. Now that one hurt. Help at hand immediately, as always the case in karting. And the red flags go out, and that's quite correct. Let's hope David Parker is little more than dazed, and he'll certainly be that. Let's take another look. Well, difficult to see exactly what happened. He was certainly launched by someone, and now in some pain for his trouble. The other drivers remaining on the track, but surely there will be no restart. 12 of the 15 scheduled laps completed. And yes, that's confirmed. So after round 4, this is how they look. Richard Styron, a costly day indeed. Adrian Coles and Lee Piercy cashing in. But what about Gary Cat? Make a note of his name. You're going to see a lot more of him.
At the start, you know, I knew Adrian and Wesley were the ones to beat, especially Adrian because he's, you know, very local and knows the track well, and he's got a lot of experience in the kart. But yeah, you know, it went well. Those two sort of held each other up, and I managed to get in the lead. And you know, it went on from there really, and I just managed to get a gap, and then that was it.